Alrighty, gang. Here's to nights that turn into mornings and friends that turn into family. Cheers!
Happy birthday to you.
Hello. Welcome to the Friendship IRL podcast. I'm your host, Alex Alexander, and each week we explore what's working and what's not in our friendships, community, and connections. Have you ever wished you could sit down and have a conversation about what is really going on in your friendships? Well, you found your people. Join us as we dive into real-life stories and explore new ways to approach these connections. Together, we're reimagining the rules of friendship. I want you to take a second and reflect on something for me. I want you to think about who in your life you are the most consistently connected to. Like one of the people in your life that is maybe the most available. So this could be a partner, whether you live with them or not, could be a roommate or a very good friend, could be siblings or parents, or any cousins, any other family member, could be a neighbor. And this neighbor doesn't necessarily need to be somebody you would consider like your closest friend, but they might be somebody you talk with every single day, right? You see them, let's say at the bus stop every morning, and on your weekend walks, you are kind of always connecting with them, checking in. Like, who are the most available people? Okay, now that you have that answer, I'm going to ask you something. When was the last time that you wanted to maybe try something new or lean into an interest or an activity that you wanted to go do, and you automatically asked the person that you are most consistently connecting with? So by that I mean, let's say you want to go try a new restaurant and you automatically just asked your partner to go, even though that's not really their thing. Like deep down, you knew before you even asked them, they weren't really going to be into it. Yeah, I think that this is a universal experience and we need to talk about it. I call this the easy ask. For no other reason than that is the name that came to me in my aha moment. And I'm going to tell you about my aha moment. This happened, I don't know, a year or two ago, probably. I was sitting on the couch. I remember it vividly. It was the evening, sitting on the couch with Michael. For any of you who don't know, Michael is my husband. We have been together for a little over 15 years. So we are definitely consistently doing life together. We're just chatting. I think a show was on in the background. Must have been like a Friday or Saturday, because my question to him was, and I knew the answer. I knew before I asked, but I was like, hey, do you want to go shopping tomorrow? And he just turned, he looked at me and he was like, not really, but if that's really what you want to do, I guess I can go with you for a bit. I remember being like, come on, right? We can go look for clothes for you too. We can, you've been saying you wanted to add some more, I don't remember, sweaters or shoes or something to your wardrobe. He's like, yeah, that's not really how I want to spend my day, but if it'll make you happy, I'll go. And this was the aha moment, because I realized that the only reason I was asking him is because he was the easy ask. There is a convenience. We are connecting, we are talking all the time. We also are very used to doing certain life things together. If, let's say, for example, I need to go to Home Depot and buy something, but I need an extra set of hands to load it in the car, I'm probably telling him like, hey, we need to get this thing done. Will you come with me, right? We're very used to doing things that we don't necessarily want to do just because they have to get done. And I think that makes it even easier to make this easy ask. Because what I realized in this moment is, like, I'm just asking him because he's there. I'm not actually asking him because I think I'm going to have the experience I want to have when we go shopping together. It's not like I just want to go wander around. Something about me, I actually really love design and fashion and patterns and figuring out how to mix colors and outfits and shoes and style. Like, I like the creative part of it. And so what I really wanted was to go with someone and make it an activity. I wanted to play with fashion. I want to talk about it. And I have some friends who are just as into this as I am. I could ask one of them. I also have friends who this isn't really something they're into, but they do like shopping with me because maybe it's something they want to learn more about, or they want to switch up their wardrobe. So they're happy to use my passion and interest here. Like, I have basically two sets of people that would be better than just asking Michael, because I don't want to just go wander around. I want to chat it up and have a moment of connection about going shopping, right? And then it made me start thinking wow, where are all the places that I'm making an easy ask? Now, sometimes an easy ask makes sense, right? You need it. You need a helping hand. You feel comfortable asking them. Or they've done this with you before. They've been saying they want to try it. There's all sorts of reasons. It feels safer and easier to ask this person than to reach out to someone else. But in leaning into the easy ask, what I'm doing is denying myself of the experience I actually want, right? I want the connection. I want the banter and the chat. And if I think about it, it might just be better to go alone than to drag somebody along who isn't really into it. And I want to be very clear. I can't fault Michael for not wanting to go shopping, because this is the same as if he asked me to go to the sports book with him and watch any sporting event all day and talk about the bets and the gambling and the lines and obviously I'm not the right person to ask to go do this activity, but that's not to say I never would. But my questions would just be oh, is the team you betted on winning? Right? I'm not going to connect with him the same way that other friends are about this topic. Even if I try to be interested in what he's interested in, it's not the same. But sometimes that might feel like the easy ask for him to ask me because we're just together all the time. So he's like, tomorrow, do you want to go to the casino? He doesn't go to the casino that often, guys. But that would be a similar example versus asking some other friends who he actually knows will have a fun time. There's so many examples of ways that the easy ask might be showing up. I mean, I'm talking about partners here, but it could be asking your best friend to go to a concert with you, even though they don't really care for that artist or they're just not a concert person. But then you're pulling the whole hey, I really want to go. I really want to go, right? So your friend's well, I want you to have this experience, so I'll go with you. It could be dragging your roommate to a Toastmasters group. I'll use that, but it could be any group. It could be a knitting circle. I don't know, whatever you're into. You're learning to bird watch, right? And you want to go join this group. You want to meet people, but you don't want to go alone, but you want to have connection in your passion for bird watching. So you're please come with me, because they're the easy ask. You're with them all the time. Now, as I think about this, I think there are a couple hidden costs in the easy ask. The first one is over time, it can create strain in that relationship where you are making the easy ask, in that very present relationship. So if I continually ask Michael over and over and over again to go shopping, even though this is one of his least favorite ways to spend the day, over time, he's going to be like, gosh, I really don't enjoy this. Like, why do you keep dragging me to do this? And he feels kind of obligated because he loves me and he cares about me and he wants me to pursue my passion for fashion. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. But that doesn't mean it doesn't come with some resentment, because at the end of the day, he's not the right person for me to ask. He is easy to ask. He is not the person that I will actually have the most enjoyable experience, the one I am looking for. Now, the second hidden cost, I think, is that I am missing out on the opportunity to connect with my friends who would actually love this. Like my fashion friends, this is the perfect cue in my life for me to send the text message saying, hey, I really want to go play basically dress up and just get creative and see what we can find. Can you do that tomorrow? When can you do that? And it doesn't have to be shopping. It could be, honestly, for me to get the same experience I'm looking for, it could be, hey, like, why don't you come over and let's just go through my closet and make up a bunch of new outfits, or I'll come to your place. That would be a better connection over this interest than the easy ask of dragging my partner along. And in doing so, one final thing I'll add to that, because now that I'm thinking about it, it's really limiting my potential for those fashion friendships to grow. Because this is already a passion we share, something we know we love to connect about. And if I don't bring us together, if I don't take those cues, I'm also limiting the opportunity to find out how their life's going, or to make some new memories together of us laughing hysterically when we put together like the worst, ugliest outfit combos ever, whatever it is. I am limiting my own connections because of convenience, basically. And then the third hidden cost here. The third hidden cost is that, like I mentioned before, I would probably be closer to the connection experience I want if I just went alone. Now, shopping may not be the best example, right? Because I'm just out in the wild. But maybe I meet somebody out there who also seems into fashion, but that's not the same. Let's go back to my Toastmasters example of wanting to get into public speaking, wanting to practice that skill set, right? I've already mentioned that is not something Michael is interested in, even though I tried to drag him along. And honestly, that's not something that I'm trying to think of my friends. Like maybe there's some that are kind of interested, but out of all my friends, there's not very many that I think really want to join a public speaking club. So if I go alone, I am way more likely to meet people who have that same interest that I can connect with. And that's exactly what happened. Now, the reason that I'm saying that about the Toastmasters group versus shopping is that Toastmasters one is like, for anybody who doesn't know, it's an international public speaking club. It would be like going to your local, curling club or run club, just a club, basically. When you go to these clubs where they meet consistently, like one, there's a smaller group there. Two, it's normally similar people that come week after week. So you have a much higher likelihood that over time you will see the same people, you will build up some consistency, and you will maybe develop a longer term connection. Now, if I met somebody shopping, like maybe that turns into something bigger. It also could just be that I have a really fun interaction with somebody I meet, let's say in the dressing room, where we're chatting it up about our favorite styles and like the color combos we like to do or whatever it is. I might have one really lovely interaction because I'm there alone. And that also might be a better point of connection than if Michael had come with me, even though it's not something he's interested in. So where do we take this episode? 1, I hope you just start noticing when you're making an easy ask. I still catch myself, but now I think I have some terminology for it. So something I have done is ask somebody, kind of seeing their apprehension. Maybe you're so close with this person, you're like, Michael, and they've said like, oh no, I don't want to do that. They've been honest. Or maybe they're like, yeah, I mean, I could do that. You can tell they're not that interested. And at one point I might have been a little offended, right? I might have said, oh, well, you don't want to do that thing with me? Because I'm thinking that they're rejecting this because of me. They don't want to do it with me. When in reality, it's just that they're not interested in that activity. And then I have to take responsibility a little bit of like, oh, well, I actually knew when I asked you that you probably weren't going to want to do this. So then what you can do from there is question whether it would be better to go alone, to reach out to a different friend, to find a group. What alternative is more likely to give you the connection that you're looking for? Because I do believe that those alternatives of either honestly going alone or reaching out to a friend who has similar interests will make it more likely that you will genuinely enjoy the activity you wanted to do in the first place. So I hope that you are brave enough when you realize you've made an easy ask. Like, number 1, it's okay to acknowledge it. It's a great terminology, I think, to talk about with your friends. Add it to your friendship dictionary. And when you do notice that you're making the easy ask, use that as a moment to reach out to a friend who is actually more interested in this activity. You could even tell them like, oh, wow, I found myself asking Michael if he wanted to go. And then I realized that's silly because what I should have done all along is seen when you can do this. Let's do it. And at the end of the day, even if you can't, even if they are not available to go shopping with me, I still think that that is a connection point because they know I want to do that with them, even if they maybe aren't available or they can't right now, whatever. And then I have to go alone or reach out to another friend. So the next time you're about to make the easy ask, or that you just did make the easy ask, pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I choosing the convenience of this person just being around over the actual connection that I want? Because sometimes the less convenient option is going to be what leads you to the connection that you're looking for. With that, I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to this episode of Friendship IRL. I am so honored to have these conversations with you, but don't let the chat die here. Send me a voice message. I created a special website just to chat with you. You can find it at alex.chat. You can also find me on Instagram. My handle at it's Alex Alexander, or go ahead and leave a review wherever you prefer to listen to podcasts. Now, if you want to take this conversation a step further, send this episode to a friend. Tell them you found it interesting and use what we just talked about as a conversation starter the next time you and your friend hang out. No need for a teary goodbye. I'll be back with a new episode next week.